are live. Magandang
Hey.
hapon, tanghali mga
Magand
kapitbahay.
tangha
Magandang tanghali, Coach Luis. How are you?
Magandang tanghali, Coach Dave. I'm doing okay.
Nakakain ka
It's
na ba?
lunchtime from a lot of people. Nah, I don't
Uh,
really eat lunch.
You don't eat lunch?
No, I eat
Ah.
1, sometimes 2 meals a day.
Wow. So
But that's
IF ba
from
yan?
the different conversation. IF, yes. IF,
IF.
OMAD,
Yeah.
OMAD or TMAD.
Sounds
1 meal
cool,
a day or
yeah.
2 meals a day.
1 meal, 2 meals a day. For another time,
Yeah,
pag-usapan natin yan.
for another oh my god, that's
Yeah.
that I can talk on and on about that,
On
so
and on about that.
let's move
Super
on.
excited. Let's move on because we are here for a special episode of the VAH PH Podcast. So ang tanong natin
Yes,
is, why
we
are we
are.
here exactly, Coach Luis?
Kasi gutom na ako. Hindi, hindi.
Kasi ganun.
Hindi pa ako gutom actually.
Uh-huh.
We're here because we talk about AI. Okay, kasi
AI?
ang dami nating nakikitang posts ngayon na tungkol sa AI or
Dami.
nagkukunwaring hindi AI pero tungkol sa AI. I mean, there's
Ooh.
a lot of that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the thing with these posts, no? Parang you think some are very blatantly AI
Oh
related. The
yeah,
others, they're very subtle, di
subtle.
ba?
Mm, uh, I I have a word that I don't like subtle kasi subtle doesn't it's neutral eh.
Okay.
Insidious. Insidious for me
Insidious.
because it's negative. It's subtle in a negative way. Yeah, I'm very semantic like that.
Very, yeah, insidious, very ominous,
Very
maybe
ominous, very like
cryptic. Yeah.
it's like
The-
alam mong may tinatago sila na
May
sadya.
tinatago sila.
Oo, yan. So
Hmm.
that's what that's how I would describe these posts. Na parang may masamang balak na ayaw sabihin eh.
So you say marami tong posts na to, but
Yeah.
where exactly do you see them, and do they mention yung AI?
Mm. Well, some of them try to post in the group.
Mm-hmm.
They get rejected.
Yep.
There are some that are posted in, some of the in mga ibang Facebook groups na, alam ng mga voice actors yan na there are several Facebook groups that we visit na
Right.
we look for casting calls.
Uh-huh.
And then casting call club, yung mga online sites like casting
Online
call club,
sites,
yeah,
yes.
casting call club, for international work, Upwork, ang daming nakikita dito. Uh, you know, anywhere you find
Yeah.
casting calls,
Anywhere there's a casting calls, platforms,
yeah,
Facebook groups, LinkedIn even. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, actually, ang dami nga sa I forgot
Ang
about
dami.
LinkedIn.
Even for me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get quite a number of them. And the thing is, let's talk about yung red flags
Oh,
specifically.
well,
Yeah.
syempre, AI. I mean, if it's already written there, so they're not subtle about it. They're not insidious about it. They say that.
Yeah.
But a common word that's used to replace AI is TTS or text to
TTS,
speech.
text to speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I think yun nga yung parang precursor no, before the whole generative AI became a
Oh yeah.
thing. Kasi ano yung mga 2023, end of 2022, naging uso yung generative, di
Yeah.
ba?
2022.
And prior to that, like TTS was the thing na parang looming over the horizon, may parating na
Yeah.
AI threat. What is this, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they now they try to hide that threat because AI was painted as a threat
Mm-hmm.
already before it came.
Mm-hmm.
People are like some people are reluctant to use, talagang ayaw nilang gamitin yung term na AI
The exact word.
para hindi matakot yung mga tao. But
Okay.
they use a lot of different terms like TTS, um,
TTS, yeah, text to speech. Right.
natural language
Processing?
process, natural language
NLP? Yeah,
processing,
yeah.
yeah. Ano pa mga term?
Machine learning.
Machine learning, neural
Machine
network.
learning. Yeah, yeah. There are companies na all out sila na parang, they're gonna avoid AI, but every
Mhm.
time they're gonna machine learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hello,
So,
mga Apple fans. I mean,
uh,
what?
what?
What? Uh,
Prutas dyan.
Yeah. So yeah, machine learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, minsan they just want you to have like a natural conversation, eh, diba?
Oh,
With
yeah.
someone.
Yeah, parang
Uh,
they want we want two people having a normal conversation, talk like they're just talking with each other. And ganun yung job
but
ano nila eh.
yeah, but why?
Well,
But
it's because they
why?
want they want that they want the machine to
Uh-huh.
learn how people normally speak so that they don't sound very disjointed like
Very
um
disjointed. Yeah. I am
sorry.
an AI,
Yeah.
diba? So,
And you see it. You see that there are some sort of convincing models that you hear sa TikTok, yung
gumagaling
dami
na.
po, gumagaling na sila.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Although may versions, parang wala pa akong narinig na Tagalog na magaling.
Okay, so
Mm.
guys, alam niyo na, pag merong offer for Tagalog training, don't please, yeah.
Please don't.
Please,
Para hindi mawala mga trabaho natin.
yeah, I want to say a point now, pero babalikan natin. It's basically shooting yourself in the foot now. Well, for later, no?
Mhm.
So yeah, they want to get yung buong dynamic range ng human speech eh. Diba?
Mhm.
Yeah, so even with English, with the American accent, standard British and all that, there is a natural inflection or speech music or, there are other
Prosody.
prosody, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Other ways of speech
Mhm.
na kino-consider yung exact articulation ng words, ganun. So, all of that data gets fed when we have a natural conversation,
Yeah.
'di ba?
And and a machine I mean, it needs a lot of data in order to like pick up those little nuances na
Yeah.
hin-
Yeah.
you know tayo we just pick it up naturally. The machine
Yeah.
needs to get that from millions of voices.
Millions of voices
Mm.
or maybe from one person they're gonna ask for 1,000 hours from
Yeah.
you and parang you're gonna think okay naman yung pay. We'll get to that later.
Ooh, oh, well,
Well, we'll
that's
get
a
to that
whole
later.
different.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Other red flags, come on, they
Mm.
flat out say that AI is in nasa description siya
Nasa description,
nung
yes.
company, like
Yeah.
AI is what we do, diba?
Mhm. Yes. They don't mention AI in the post. Pero if you look at
Uh-huh.
yung about page ng company, it's like, yeah, we develop machine learning algorithms for blah 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 for multinational companies or whatever.
Multinational companies, or
Oh,
they might say they're building a library or
oh
or
yes, a database.
a database.
Yeah,
Okay.
building or just they're basically they're gathering large amounts of information, and they need as
Large, yeah,
many people to contribute to this database. You know, it's ano
yeah.
yan, parang so why I guess the question that comes up, or for me at least, not everyone asks this question. It's like, bakit? Why are you gathering this much information? And for me, they're gathering that much information kasi meron silang kailangang i-train na AI model na
Exactly,
hindi natin, yun ang hindi nila sinasabi, pero implied na siya dun sa sa post nila or sa
exactly.
company description.
Well,
So,
I want to home in lang on that bakit,
mm,
diba? The bakit.
yeah.
So, we as voice actors, when we take on projects, even AI aside, no, we should make
Mm,
a habit of like, if they ask for your voiceover, we have to
mm.
ask why or where and when is this going to be used?
Usage, yeah, usage is the
Usage.
term. Yeah. Um, ano ba siya? Pang commercial ba siya? Kasi kung pang commercial, mas mataas ang bayad dyan.
Right.
Pang
Exactly.
pang internal, pang educational. Okay, maybe there's an
Mm-hmm.
argument that it's meant to be, it's a lower price.
Yeah.
Internal, external, ano bang dami nun? Online, TV, radio, saan gagamitin? Ang
Animation,
daming
video
ano,
games.
animation, video
Yeah.
game,
Yeah, so
dubbing.
pero pag sinabi nila, so there are many types of usage, but the
Mm.
moment that they say that they're gonna use it for a database,
Oh,
a database of what?
data, yes.
Diba? So we have to ask the follow-up questions.
Mm.
Ito pa. Even with my Viber, my WhatsApp, even my YouTube once in a while, 'di ba? You're gonna get these strangers messaging saying, "Hey, I have a job opportunity for you as a voice actor." You know,
And we will pay $1,000 per day. Yeah, 1 month. Like $200 per day.
$200 per day. That sounds
That's
pretty reasonable.
pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty standard voiceover project,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah. Pero they don't
Pero
say, ay, saan nila gagamitin? Yun talaga eh. Saan nila gagamitin yung boses mo?
sad.
Yeah.
Sad, exactly.
Mm,
Uh, well, you might argue naman. That's the thing. I'm still getting paid. Well, what's wrong with that if our voices are gonna be used for AI?
mm.
We're getting paid
Ah.
anyway.
um, I, okay, sige. There's a story. Ito yung ano eh. Do you know Bev Standing?
Bev Standing. Okay. Tell me more about this person.
Okay, Bev Standing, voice actor siya. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think
Okay.
she's from Canada. But
All right.
she's a prolific voice actor. She's U.S. or North American based voice actor.
Okay. Okay.
I think sometime in 2021 or before 2021, basta, she did some text to speech voice work. It was for a
Ah.
company in China. Okay, so
Ooh.
she did. So yun lang. So it was, I think the agreement was it was supposed to be used for translation work. So dapat dun lang translating
Translation work.
yun. No,
Okay.
ayun, so that's
Okay.
another red flag.
Yeah, translation work. Okay.
Yeah. So kasi 'di ba syempre naman
Uh-huh.
translation, part of translation, you say it in one language and it's the machine spits out the way it's said in a different language. So
Mhm.
understandable, yun. So she agreed to that. That's what the contract was for. And then what happened was sometime in early 2021, parang sinasabi daw sa kanyang mga friends niya na parang, bakit parang boses mo yung ginagamit dito sa TikTok? Like, it was everywhere daw
Ooh.
in TikTok. So, wait, I'll look. I have the article syempre nasa screen ko eh. So, nakasulat,
Okay.
a robotic version of what sounded like Standing's voice had been in the app for months, speaking over what felt like every other video at the time. So
Wow.
talagang it was everywhere. So, siyempre, nagalit siya na parang, bakit boses ko, I guess narinig niya, parang bakit nila ginagamit boses ko? So she sued TikTok in May
Wow.
2021. And, it was the original company had a contract for, they said that they didn't give the voice to TikTok. But there were
Dao.
things
Yeah.
daw, yun nga, yun daw,
Dao. Yeah.
hindi daw nila binigay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But about yung mga 2 weeks after the suit, after the lawsuit,
Right.
TikTok removed the voice.
Okay.
Also, and they changed the voice entirely to the one that we all know, the super hyper. I can't do that. I can't do that voice. Uh, Yung super
The
super chirpy one.
the
Yeah.
the this is an AI voice.
Yeah,
That one.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Something
Yeah, yeah.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
So, and then also they said that TikTok said that they would license the voice, although there was no they would license her voice also, but it was up to TikTok whether or not they would use it. So there was no admission of guilt anywhere. But
Okay.
so if they didn't use her voice, bakit nila tinanggal yung voice
Ye-
na that was everywhere already? So I'm like,
Bakit kaya?
bakit kaya? Kasi I
Yeah.
guess yun nangyari is she agreed to one thing and her voice was used for something else entirely.
That's a different usage.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that
That's outright dishonesty,
exactly.
actually.
So you get paid for
Yeah.
one of the yun nga. So we get paid anyway. Well, so yeah, you got
Mm.
paid for one use. Pero yung napunta siya sa ibang project.
Mm.
Teka lang, hindi ako pumayag na hindi ako pumayag na gagamitin boses ko sa project na yon.
Right.
That's it eh. You don't know unless you're absolutely sure what's in your contract. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you need very clear terms of where the usage is.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
very, very, very clear and specific.
yeah,
And
we'll get to
yeah,
that also.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, I
Mm.
believe there's someone else aside from Bev Standing who experienced something similar.
Uh, yeah. More famous.
Okay, Scarjo.
Scarlett
Okay,
Johansson.
yeah.
So this one because I was never able to. I mean, I only saw the headlines and I read the articles, but I never heard the voice. I
Hmm.
wish. So OpenAI released a voice that was quote eerily similar to Scarlett Johansson's voice.
Eerily similar.
Eerily
Hmm.
similar. Here's the thing is, if it were just like similar to her voice, that would be one thing. Pero months before or basta recently rin,
Mm-hmm.
they approached her. They were asking her for permission na pwede ba namin gamitin yung boses mo for this.
Mm.
And I guess she rejected them, but then
Hmm.
they came out with a voice that was so yun nga, eerily
Parang
similar.
ganun na rin yan eh.
So ganun. Oo,
Might as well be like, uh,
parang binasted tapos naghanap ng ano ng kamukha.
or maybe they found someone like a sound alike, no?
Hmm.
That's possible. But that's another thing, by the way. Parang pinag-uusapan din yan eh. Like, what if you get a sound alike to do to train the AI model? But
It feels wrong.
uh okay sana siya kung there's the intention to deceive kasi.
Yun, I guess that's it.
I mean if hindi siya okay, especially if there's that intent. But if
Mm.
it's clearly derivative or again permission eh. So and that's the delicate line uh that you
You
yeah,
straddle.
that you straddle on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, especially even with impressions and impersonations and
yeah.
especially with AI.
Oh
No.
yeah. That's a
Um
mhm.
yeah, I was just thinking some people who are getting into voice acting na bago, no,
Mhm.
if I were in their place, parang sobrang tempting. Sobrang tempting, especially because I've seen the offers myself. Diba?
Mhm.
Okay, usage lang naman. I actually don't mind my voice getting used on other platforms kasi bago pa lang naman ako eh. I'm just
Yeah.
still just getting into this industry. I want to get my foot in the door, get my feet wet. Pero, I'm still gonna get paid. It's not a
Yeah.
lot of money, but I'm still getting paid. Diba?
Yeah.
What
I
are your
get
thoughts
that.
on that?
I get it. I mean, as since this is my livelihood, syempre there are times na there are times na lean. So I would
Yeah.
like I wouldn't mind getting a big paycheck. Pero
Hmm.
I guess it goes back to usage and lockouts.
Right.
This is especially for commercial use.
Yes. Yes.
There's a term called the lockout, and it's basically when one brand, when you voice for one brand, you lend your voice to one brand, you're not allowed to use that your voice, or you're not allowed to lend your voice to a competing brand. For
Right.
example, if I do a commercial na love ko to, I won't say
Ah.
what brand na.
Love ko to.
Love ko to.
Okay.
Alam na natin kung ano 'yun.
All right.
Siyempre, yung mga ibang yung competitors nun, may mga ibang okay, another clue. Yung mga ibang fast food, hindi ko puwedeng ano, I can't work for those other fast food companies.
Yeah, kasi nabahiran ka na eh. Parang
Oo,
you've already pledged allegiance.
yes.
Or
I
yun
mean,
ang nagiging dating. Or hindi
and they pay
naman.
you. And, the fact is binabayaran ka para, okay, eto, sa'min ka lang, 'di ba?
Yeah, that's the lockout.
That's the lockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a formal na lockout na they're saying na sa amin ka lang for the
Yes,
period of 15 months. They're
15
saying that and parang sometimes they will even have a list of competitors. Now these are the ones specifically that you can't work with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes they would have that. Pero what about soft exclusivity?
Yes. Well, yun yung so that's from the point of view of the company that hired you, 'di ba?
Right.
From the point of view of the company naman that doesn't hire you, that, parang I guess the way I would if I were the client side, if I were the in marketing, part of the marketing department of that company.
Mhm.
Parang, eh, ikaw na yung boses ng, teka lang, we need brands. um,
Yeah, nung XYZ, eh.
oh, ikaw na yung, yun, sige fine. Ikaw na yung boses ng brand X eh. Ba't ka namin
Oh,
kukunin? Di ba?
exactly,
You
yeah.
know, it's like, di magiging magiging, yung boses ng brand X tsaka boses namin, pareho lang? No, gusto
Yeah,
namin
no.
may sarili kaming boses.
Yeah, it needs to be unique.
Oo,
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, nawawalan ng identity yung brand. It's
yes,
part of branding, essentially. That's
correct.
what we do as voice actors as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So in effect, kahit wala sa contract yon na
mm,
parang na you're exclusive to them, the mere fact that you worked with them, ayaw na
yeah,
sa'yo ng competitors.
yes,
At
exactly.
the very least for a certain period. Meron kasing yung, yeah, sabihin natin there's a 15-month formal period, give or
Mm.
take. Pero meron pa yung parang informal na how long has it been na naaalala ka pa ng mga tao as the voice for that?
Sige, this is an unrelated, well, sort of tangential thing na ano,
Sure.
yung nababad,
Aha,
um,
aha.
yung bahay namin dati, ginamit siya sa isang teleserye.
Okay.
So, sa teleseryeng yun, babad na babad siya. So, every day for 5 days a week, teleserye was 5 days a week, di ba? Every day for several months, nakikita yung bahay namin dun sa teleseryeng yun.
Aha, aha.
So, and then what happened was nung natapos yung teleseryeng yun, for like 2 years, may mga pupuntang location manager dun sa bahay. Pero nakita nila, ay, yan yung bahay dun sa ano eh, sa dating teleseryeng yun eh. So,
Ah,
ayaw nilang gamitin.
it's just a house, pero even that,
Oo.
no?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
when you said, yun nga, may sinabi ka, babad eh. So, 'pag
Babad.
yung
Yeah.
boses mo nababad na sa isang brand, even after a few months, even after a while, ikaw
Right.
yung boses nung gano'n, eh. Wag na lang, iba na lang pupuntahan namin. Iba na lang kukunin namin. So,
Yeah.
yun, sa'min, it was, for us, it was yung bahay. And then it could happen to your voice rin.
Exactly. Yeah, and that can be a very long period.
Mm.
No, aside from the formal 15 months or so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now,
So
sige.
in short, no, if you have a lockout or para ma-associate ka with a certain brand, that's a loss of potential income.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is, yeah. And that's why nga you should get paid if you get a lockout.
If you're locked out, that's why you're paid more.
Yeah,
You're
that's
you're
why you're
you're
paid
also
more.
being paid for the exclusivity as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, again, bringing it back to AI, how does
Mm,
this connect with AI? Well,
mm,
it means pag napasa mo na yung boses mo sa AI, na train mo yung AI
mhm,
model na yon, your voice is out there on the internet for anyone to download. Maybe they pay $9 a month to use your voice unlimited or for every 50,000 words.
mhm,
Pero usually hindi specify kung saan gagamitin yung boses mo.
mm.
So what if someone, instead of you actually booking the actual commercial, someone can pay $9 or something for a certain website, get the rights, the
Your
rights to
voice.
to use your voice because you gave it away, and they decide to use it for a national commercial. Oh,
Mm.
ooh, diba? Like, sayang eh. You could have been paid like 50, 200, 300K for that, but, oh, well,
Mm.
yeah. And so okay, let's go back. I want a more concrete example na, I believe meron din sa US.
Oh,
Diba?
yeah. Um, okay, no, sige, the basic story. Someone, a voice actor in the US, uh, allowed okay, so I guess industry is fine. Allowed a
Sure.
regional bank. So regional means like Southwest or a specific state or a specific city. He allowed a bank to use his voice in perpetuity. That's a
It's,
very very important term here.
it's a different, in perpetuity,
Yeah,
yeah.
in perpetuity means forever
Forever and ever and ever.
and
Yes.
never. Yeah, so that's, and this is important because a lot of AI work, they will license your voice in perpetuity because
Mm-hmm.
they can't just, um once they train it, that's it. It's
They
already in there.
have it. They
They
have the
have it.
tech. They can
Yep.
reproduce your voice.
Yep. So he let's pretend he got $1,000 for that voice in perpetuity. Um, Fast forward a year, 2 years, he was in the running for a national bank commercial. So
Oh,
so $1,000 yun. How much is a national bank commercial in the US? Or how much would a national campaign? Do you
yeah.
have any idea?
Madami yan eh. Last I checked sa GVAA, may naririnig ako even go as high as $20,000 or
20.
1 million. May mga
Wait, 1M?
3,000, may mga okay, so let's speak in
Okay.
pesos, no? May
Pesos.
mga national commercial ako naririnig the rates mga 200K, mga 300K,
Okay.
but as high as 20K, 'di ba?
Okay.
Sorry, not 20.
Ah,
20K
20K dollars.
dollars.
So
So
1
that's
million
1
pesos.
million, that's 1 million pesos. Naririnig ko that still happens.
Oh.
Minsan pag sobrang intense kasi you're not just sometimes you don't just pay for the length, sometimes yung
Mm.
dami and yung dami ng platforms.
Oh, yeah.
'Di
So
ba?
it's
So it's
TV,
TV,
radio,
radio, ganyan. So
online.
so that could stack up to a pretty fat check of more than just like 3,000. Okay, 150K, 200K, could be a million, could be more. No. So grabe.
Grabe
So
siya, di ba?
and how much was the training?
The training for ano was like 1,000. Let's peg it. Gawin na i-cap na natin at $5,000. So that's
Yeah.
like what? 250,000 pesos.
250K.
That's a lot of money.
It's tempting. I mean, kung
Yeah.
bago ako, guys,
Mm.
if you're new to voice acting and like there's an offer 250K. I want to introduce a business concept lang, no?
Mhm.
Yung lifetime value or lifetime
Yes.
earnings. How much
Yes.
you can earn in your career. Before getting into any industry, any profession, anything, iweigh mo muna with an entrepreneurial mind. Okay, if this is what I'm gonna do for the next 50 years, magkano kaya yung posible kong kitain doing this one thing? Okay.
Uh-oh.
To give you an idea, no? Okay, so yeah, 250K, yeah, that's a lot.
Pero
Payag ka ba 250K for your whole voice acting career?
that's a short career.
That's a short career. That's just one commercial, two commercials, a couple of commercials,
Hindi
and
naman.
and you don't even
Campaign.
campaigns. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Commercial naman is less than
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
5, 6, 7 commercials.
Yeah, yeah. Depends on
So
the length of the
yeah.
campaign, yeah. Pero
Uh,
minsan kasi, the one thing you do, i-renew nila every year, di ba?
mm,
So, it could add up.
yeah.
But imagine, no? Yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You could have earned that much. You could have earned millions. To give you an idea, Nancy Cartwright,
Mhm.
voice of Bart Simpson, depende sa season na binoise niya, earned $300,000 or like minsan $400,000, not per year, but per episode of The Simpsons. My math is not even mathing right now.
I
For
can't even imagine.
uh yeah, for this is 23 million pesos roughly per episode. Imagine mo yun, mag one episode ka na lang ng The Simpsons and you can retire many times over. So, you don't know. You
Mm,
don't know what you could end up being.
yeah.
Now you might think, well, Pilipino lang
Big
ako
time
or
naman yan eh.
big time naman yan. I'm not based in the US. I don't have opportunities here. You don't know that. The industry is changing ever so slightly. You have people like Vanille and
Mhm.
Inca and more people getting projects overseas. I have regular UK clients.
No,
You never know.
I have
Diba?
international but small, small but international.
International, diba? So
Yeah.
parang, yeah, we're not saying na parang, work from home is like gonna give you the AAA video game projects necessarily, pero who are we to say that it's not possible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba? Parang dun kasi papunta pa rin in the age of remote work. So anyway, that's a
Yeah.
different topic. No,
Y-
I get really
Yeah.
passionate about that. But again,
Same.
there's just 250K pesos or
Or
$400,000 per
per
episode.
year. Or per year.
Per episode.
Sabihin natin per year na lang eh. Ganun
Kahit
lang eh.
nga per year eh.
O,
Diba? It's
diba?
like the dollar. Kahit nga pesos eh.
Mhm. Malaki na yun eh.
Kahit,
The
yeah.
point is AI one time, big time lang. Ay, hindi man lang big
It's
time eh. Basta one time lang yan.
it's not, yeah, it's not even big
Uh,
time. It's
uh,
deceptively big time.
deceptive big time.
Deceptive. Yeah,
Yun.
it's like this. Would you trade parang ano Little Mermaid tayo? Would you trade your voice? Mawawalan ka ng boses, literally speaking. And then you get paid
Poor
250K.
unfortunate soul.
Great Ursula impression, yeah. Okay. So ganun siya. So we don't want to be Ariel like that.
No.
So it's just a massive,
Mm.
massive income loss. Well,
Yes.
no, you might say, Coach Luis, ano naman, I don't plan to be a full-time voice actor. This is just a side gig for me.
Oh, okay. Dito medyo it gets a little bit more dicey, a little
Yeah.
parang ambiguous, or I guess the way I look at it is um think of the people naman. Kasi the way it is now,
Okay.
generative AI, what they've been doing is they've been taking people out of the equation. It's essentially I don't want to be parang I try to avoid being pessimistic or cynical,
Okay.
although I am cynical by nature.
Okay.
But it's like it's really essentially for the most part stealing talaga. It's taking the creative work that humans do and then discarding the humans afterwards.
Yeah, it's a sad, inevitable part of how it's been done so far.
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
happens is when you train an AI model, at least the way the current most of the current AI models, they don't benefit the person. They benefit some corporation that owns that AI model. Eh, parang kung ganun, ang yaman na ng corporation na yan eh. Pero yung struggling voice actor or yung struggling artist or these people who are working to try to feed their families,
Right.
why not pay them instead of paying some corporation that already owns millions, billions of dollars. Yun ang ano ko.
Where your money goes. And
Yeah.
even aside from that, it's just the consent.
Yeah. Yun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with the voice, okay, with other generative AI, they used people's work without their consent, and they've
Yeah.
done that also as well with voice.
With art,
Clearly with
with visual
spelling,
art,
yeah,
with voice, yeah,
with writing,
writing, yeah.
yeah. So again, it's just for me, it's think of the people. Think of the people you could be helping directly, as opposed to paying a corporation or lending your voice to a corporation that won't even
Yeah.
help you in the future.
Yeah, it's just ako I'm just dreaming, Coach Luis, now that you
Mm.
mentioned, the ethical aspect now. I'm just dreaming that one of these days you have like a Wikipedia-esque type of,
Ooh.
open source generative AI that everyone who, contributed to that was, asked for consent and they gave it, and everything, yes, super amazing, pero ethically achieved.
Yeah,
Like
we can dream.
we can dream. I
We can
mean,
dream.
I mean, it's not. I don't believe it's too far away from the horizon. I'm sure
Yeah.
there are some people who are seeing this need and
Mm.
are probably already working on it, or maybe have been working on it for some time. Kasi ngayon pa nga lang, you can actually, the technology is possible. Na you have an expensive desktop rig. Yung kuya ko is actually saving up for one so he can train his own AI from home from his
Uh,
own input.
yeah. A friend
Yeah.
of mine is asking me as well to help to if I have the hardware for it. I said no, I don't have the hardware for it.
Not yet,
Not
diba?
yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we can actually achieve those results ethically, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
In fact, yung ano nga Isotope RX, diba?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. They.
yeah,
I mean, I've heard it done for like creating backup vocals for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. RX kasi by
Mm.
Isotope, even before this whole AI generative AI thing exploded in late 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before that nasa RX 9 na nga yata nun eh. So like for 9 stages of the software, they were already gathering data samples of different frequencies sa audio. So ang ginagawa niya lang, yung tinatrack niya kung alin yung noise and
Mhm.
alin yung spoken voice or yung source, what you want
Ah,
to keep in the recording.
okay.
'Di ba? And once it identifies that, 'di ba, it can easily take out yung noise. So guys, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, Isotope RX is a standard sa pagtanggal ng noise. It's a noise repair tool.
Arguably the
Audio
best.
repair.
Yeah,
Yeah, arguably the
arguably the
best.
best noise
Yeah,
reduction or audio repair tool in the market right now.
arguably. I've tried alternatives, Clarity VX, and then there were a couple of others, Adobe Podcast.
Mm,
Not very impressed. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Ano siya, very surgical siya sa pagtanggal. It really keeps your voice. Because yung
Okay.
other AIs, what they do is they bring the voice back. Parang they artificially boost certain frequencies in post. Pero ito, Isotope, it just really strips your voice.
Oh
Parang
wow,
ganon.
I didn't know about the others that boosted.
Yeah, it's a
Ako,
thing now. It's a
my
thing.
favorite AI, my favorite noise reduction process is let the audio engineer take care of it.
Ah, love that actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually. For the most part, hindi natin kailangan isipin.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I do some if I'm not working with an audio engineer, but I
Exactly.
we're digressing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So just so that's a good use for AI. Those are good ethical examples of how to use AI.
Yeah.
Pero aside from losing the money, meron pang
Hmm.
other repercussions actually.
Yeah. I this was like common ano yan? ChatGPT first came out and their first
Yeah.
AI models came out. There were
Mm-hmm.
people receiving prank calls
Oh,
and they were like, it's their daughter. Supposedly, their daughter was calling them and they're in trouble because they got into an accident.
wow.
Tapos yun pala, boses, ChatGPT, ay parang AI voice yun. So they were
Ooh,
impersonating. It was basically identity theft. Or-
essentially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
parang imagine if magamit boses mo, tawagan lola mo na, Lola, may... Well, I don't know if... Yun nga eh.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's
Tagalog pa rin eh. I still don't know what Tagalog AI voices sound like.
but
But imagine.
yeah. Kaya guys, don't just give it away. If we can achieve Tagalog AI ethically, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Um, but imagine like I receive calls sometimes from strangers. Sabi sa akin ng bilas ko, the wife of my brother-in-law,
Mm.
na she when she takes a call, hindi muna siya magsasalita. She's gonna wait for like the person over the line to say kung ano yung intention niya. Kasi malay mo parang hello or like yes, who's this? Like the moment you say yes,
Oh yeah, they
uh,
can record that.
they can record that. Tapos pag kunwari you call a bank for verification and they just play the recording. That's the simplest way. It's not even AI pa nga eh. Yeah, so yeah, cybersecurity, but connected ang AI sa cybersecurity.
Another topic we can
Another
go on and on
topic.
about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's also dangers na may misleading information and
Oh yeah.
content, diba?
Oh yes. Yeah, people putting words into your mouth literally.
Like literally, if you give your
Yeah.
voice away, like
Hmm.
who's to stop them from creating a deep fake? They grab
Yeah.
a couple of your Facebook reels, they
Mm.
download nila somehow, they stitch them together, they
Yeah.
train an AI voice model, then they boom upload your voice to that.
Es- especially parang VTubers or people who talk a lot online
Yeah.
are should be especially
Yes.
careful about this.
Yes.
Yeah, because not only do they have your voice file, they also have your image available to them
Yeah.
online.
You're
Hmm.
feeding that engine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So
but,
you
but
gotta be careful.
ultimately, yeah, you gotta be careful. So ultimately, Coach Luis,
Mm.
what exactly are you saying?
Oh, be careful. Yeah, well, that we said it there. We gotta be careful. But it's a there's a sort of funny tweet I remember going around. Not It was by Joanna Mack. I will not.
Okay.
I will. I won't even. I won't even try to pronounce her full name.
Yeah.
But she's an author. She's J Mac. It was on,
J-Mac. All
yeah, J
right.
Mac on Twitter. She says that you know what the biggest problem with pushing all things AI is? Wrong
Mm.
direction. I want
Hmm.
AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing. Not for AI to
Yes.
there we go. Not the other way around. Uh,
Louder. Yes.
yeah. I mean, we want
Exactly.
AI to help us,
Yeah.
not replace us. Help us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
as
Eh,
creatives, there we got to be careful that we find AI that helps us, not takes us out of the equation.
exactly. Yeah, and Isotope RX is one of those examples.
Hmm.
Doesn't it just assists you so that you
Yes,
can do your thing.
yes, yes.
I believe another VO tool, yung Positron, yeah, helps audiobook narrators, helps remove filler words, problems to audio. It's a subscription. This is not sponsored, by the way, pero just stating more technologies in AI na for the betterment of the human
Mhm.
voice actor.
Yes, I like that for the betterment of the human voice actor. I like that that way of phrasing
Is that gonna be our tagline now?
for this one.
Yeah, nah,
No,
uh,
it'll need some we'll need some. May FGDs muna tayo bago.
workshopan natin, workshopan
Workshop na natin.
natin. Yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Uh,
yeah, it's just yeah, your voice is worth so much and
yes. Yun.
yung control mo rin eh, 'di ba? Where
So
about where it goes.
usage,
Mhm.
consent and control. Yeah, there.
Consent,
Consent and control. I think is
usage, consent, control. Yeah, I'd say that sounds pretty
yeah,
accurate. No.
yeah. Because if you allow, yun nga eh, again, if you allow other people to have control over your voice, that's scary. That's a very very
Yeah.
scary thought.
But here's the thing.
Mm,
No, like yeah, we mentioned yung mga isotope, RX, positron, whatever. Those are
mm,
ethical ways to use AI in general.
mhm,
But Coach Luis, wala bang ano very specific circumstance where maybe
mm.
there's an acceptable way to use or train an AI voice?
Uh, it goes back to what I just control. Who has control? Um, I guess international. There's the story of do you know Val Kilmer? Val
Mm-mm.
Kilmer, Iceman from Top Gun, from the
Hmm.
original Top Gun, and
Okay.
then did you watch the new Top Gun?
Nah.
No, okay,
Yeah.
fine. But Val Kilmer is an American actor, well, North American actor,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
and he has throat cancer, and because of treatments for his throat cancer, he lost his voice, and it makes it difficult for other people to understand him. But in order for I think they want they wanted to use his voice for Top Gun.
I
So
think I saw this.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw this one.
so essentially, a company called Sonantic, I think Sonantic was
Uh
able
huh.
to
Uh huh.
figure, sort of give him his voice back.
I love
So
that. So like a modern Stephen Hawking.
sort of yeah, but it
Yeah.
sounds natural. It sounds, I think he described it as something that's like familiar to him. So
Familiar.
it really felt like his own voice. They really trained the model after him, and it was his. He had control. He had consent. He had, he directed it. He guided it. So in this case, the company was just like, you know, this is for you. This is not for our benefit. This is for you.
I
So that for
love
me is
that.
acceptable use of AI. And
Yeah.
then outside AI, there's outside voice. There's AI that's used to detect cancer cells.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, and helping the visually impaired to see things with audio
yeah.
descriptions, and oh
Mm.
look, there is an apple in front of you, right?
Oh wow.
No, what do you see? Like, what do you see on the road? There was a taxi approaching. Would you like to hail a cab? There. I think I've seen that kind of video. Yeah, I
Oh
think
wow.
was it Faith Isan? Faith, if you're there, a member of the
Hi, Faith.
clubhouse, might have mentioned that or showed that, but basically. there's a lot of tech helping the visually impaired right
That
now.
that would be that's
Yeah.
an amazing application of AI, right?
An amazing, amazing
Yeah.
application. And the whole like, as a voice actor, as a character voice actor, where I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, all day long, and sometimes I have these full weeks. Haven't had them in a while, but today I have a very full day. Like if I lose my voice one day, diba, parang it's just
Oh wow.
nice to know. It's kind of morbid, guys, no, pero just being realistic here, anything can happen. Even the Titanic sank, so you know, you never know, eh. So if somehow, like, I would love to be able to preserve my voice.
Oh
No,
yes.
yeah,
I would love that as well. And I mean, also it would less morbid if
yeah.
what if you're unavailable to do curing for for for
Ah,
for a certain you
okay.
did the curing. Let's first define curing. Curing is like doing a pickup or a very short recording to replace or to revise one portion of a longer script that you
That's a
previously
nice
recorded.
definition. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically revising a mistake or may kulang na line or
Yeah.
a couple of those things. The mistake could have been yours. The mistake could have been on the client
Or
side.
the
No,
script, yeah.
yeah, or
Either
the
way,
script, diba?
it's just a small recording needed for for something else that you recorded previously.
Yeah, kumbaga, why get back into the studio,
Yeah.
diba? Just you've already done that session. You don't want to
Mm.
technically waste your time or just be more efficient with your time.
Hmm. So for that, maybe if you have your own voice model that's already there, available on your machine,
Yeah,
you just like, or and it happens maybe paus ka that day, di ba?
right.
Di ba? You just it's there, and I think
At
there's a
least it's there.
there's a local voice actor who does that, who offers their
Yeah,
voice nga.
yeah. There's this one person. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Internationally, I'm sure there are more. Do you know
Yeah,
any?
yeah. I also know a couple of international ones who
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Ang naging catch sa kanila in their experience, and
Mm.
grabe, very maverick, no?
Yeah.
In their experience,
Happen talaga, no?
their their regular voice acting services hindi na masyadong pinapatos as much because there is the cheaper option.
Yeah.
Technically ethical na if you're providing the license and the usage to your voice, parang yeah, that doesn't sound so bad. At least I'm paying, so I feel pretty good about it, ganon.
Yeah.
So, ang nagiging catch is yung loss of income for your main live voice acting work.
True. But
Yeah.
even then, I don't think the voices are the AI voice isn't that great.
May limit din siya.
Yeah.
May limit din
Kasi,
siya. Yeah.
it might be good to replace a word here and there lang.
Hmm.
Pero yung emotion, hindi, I mean, sorry, I, to me, they're still soulless.
Soulless. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Walang
course,
puso. Yeah, I
walang
guess.
puso. Yeah, yeah, but there's the argument there, no, and good friend Robbie Joseph, hey man, yeah, has talked about how in a funeral ba yun, or a wake na parang there was a clip played na parang no one even knew it was AI, and
Oh, yeah.
there just comes a point that we as voice actors we're hyper trained to that, pero to the vast majority of people, some AIs are just so good na that
Yeah.
some people can't tell. It has gotten that good, so I think the parang it's not as good argument is beginning to slowly crumble.
Mm.
One
Yeah.
every few months at a time, it's just getting that better.
And
So but
it'll keep getting better. And
mm,
I mean, I'm sure there's a limit, but the fact is
yeah,
it'll keep getting better. So,
yeah. But again, we go back to the cons here. No, so
oh
we
yeah,
know these people who do that. Guys. Ngayon, AI is still in the Wild West. No,
okay.
it's so much still in the Wild West. Uh, there are possibilities. There are some good possibilities.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's bring this home. No.
sure. Let's bring it to voice actors at home.
Yeah, bring it because we are voice actors at home. So let's bring this home now.
Ay, nako, ang corny natin.
Again, such Tito language. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for now. Do we? The answer to the question: should I submit my
No,
voice for training an AI voice model? Not for now.
no.
The people who are doing this, the very few people who do this,
They're
they
cutting
have
edge.
they're cutting edge. They
Yeah.
know what they're doing. They've done a lot of research. They've done a lot of risk calculation on their end,
Yes.
and ako personally, I'm medyo maverick leaning. Like people know me for Fiverr, which wasn't exactly, still doesn't have the best but I use it in a certain way. When I'm there, I try to up the industry standards. They're nagulat sila, they can pay national commercial rates din pala. But case
Yeah.
in point, even then, even though I'm maverick leaning in that sense, I wouldn't go as far to go to train my voice at this point.
Yeah. I I'm scared as well. Like I said, my friend is off asking me if I have the hardware. We do it, but even that is like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'm not ready for that step.
Yeah.
It's too, like you said, wild west.
It's a wild west talaga ngayon. And as time goes by, yeah, the technology gets better.
Mm,
Legislation is to a degree catching up. May mga there are some things about
mm.
like yung sa Supreme Court ruling tungkol dun sa um what was that? Yung sa generative naman yun
Yeah.
eh, sa generative.
Well, there's right now. I think
Okay.
I don't know if it's Supreme Court, but definitely the copyright office
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Copyright.
says,
There we go. Yeah, the Copyright Office.
yeah,
Yes.
they say that
Yeah, yeah.
generative AI cannot be copyrighted. So if you think about it, so that means if you create something with generative AI using your voice, anyone can use it for whatever purpose they want to. So I'm like, what if? That's a scary thought, diba? So
Yeah.
until the landscape becomes more
Stable.
stable, yeah, stable is the right
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, willing naman ako to because I'm excited. I don't want to shoot myself personally in the foot
Mm,
right now because once the systems, the culture, the
mm.
ethics, the laws, the platforms are all in place for this and there's a
Oh
proper
yeah,
procedure to get this done, that might be sooner, might be later than it is sooner. Yeah, it might be later.
yeah,
But, I would rather hold my ground and just do more of the main voice acting projects.
same.
Um, just as is.
Yeah, but
I
yeah, going back, I mean, you said it's getting better and better. So I mean, if you're gonna hold your ground, if we're gonna hold our ground, as
yeah,
we're not getting on AI in terms of we don't wanna like model or support AI voices, or not support. We're not going to train AI voices.
right.
How do we make sure we're not, we don't get swept away by something that's getting better and better
I get
every
that.
day?
I get
Mm,
that. And there is a simple answer to that,
mhm.
and that is simply to train and improve your craft.
Yeah. Well,
That's
so
it. Be
they
be in
get better,
demand.
we get better.
Yeah, and our rate of getting better should be better than
Should be
the
better.
yeah, than
Yeah.
the rate of that getting better. And even improve the human element. If your relational skills, your ability to work with colleagues and leave
Hmm.
a good impression and directors and producers and they like you, you know,
They remember
that's
you
they remember you. That's something
for
an AI can provide.
no. They
Yeah.
remember you in good ways.
They remember you in good ways. I have to say, personally, I am still hopeful. Diba, Wild West tayo ngayon?
Mhm.
But I'm just dreaming now again, dreaming of like, someone goes to lcvo.com. Is that the right website? Tama ba?
Yeah, lcvoiceover.com or
lcvoiceover.com. Yeah, or
voiceactors@homeph.com
whatever
or
website. And so or
davesultura.com.
davesultura.com and they see there's an option like hire Dave or
Mhm.
like hire Dave's AI voice. And there are two options. And when you click the AI voice option, you're gonna see all the usage options, kind of like a rate
Oh
calculator.
yeah.
Di ba? Saan
Mhm.
gagamitin yung boses? Sa
Mhm.
TV broadcast ba? Sa digital broadcast? Gaano kahaba? All these things.
Mhm.
And then at the end of that, parang like there's a certain amount na ibabill, my word count, and then there's a price, and then they just pay. Bam! Passive income for us. You
Yeah.
don't walk into the booth, but you get paid.
That's that's always a good thing.
That's amazing. If that becomes like really a thing, you could be a completely new voice actor. Though I would argue that trained voice actors would have better trained models.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
Yeah. Still, galingan mo pa rin para gumaling yung
Mm.
clone mo. If you're a 10, then your AI is probably a 9 or an 8.
I know.
But if you're
But
a
if you're
5,
then your AI is like a
a
garbage in,
1,
garbage out.
yeah, garbage in, garbage out, diba? So you
Yeah.
got to have a good point of reference to begin with. And so that brings us back to get so let me finish that thought. So
Sure.
you have like the AI hireable Dave slash Luis,
Mm-hmm.
but they can also still hire you for a bigger rate.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So it depends on the type of client that you're attracting. Are you attracting a client who is willing to settle with your AI version or really wants the real you? So parang hindi niya completely matitake over yung ano mo, but you're catering to different markets.
You're, yeah, there we go. Different markets. You're y- you're offering different products for different audiences.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah. So people will want Rolexes. They will also want Seikos. Depende kung sino.
I won't
Yeah.
say go.
What? What? What?
Uh, Yet another rabbit hole. Sorry.
Seiko. Sorry, I don't have a Seiko right now.
It's my
Oh,
daily driver. Oh,
that's a daily driver. Oh, that's a diver. That's an
it's an
okay.
SKX,
XKX.
but it's an uncommon Seiko
Love it. Is
called the
it?
Bullet.
It's not a Seiko 5.
No, it's not a five.
It's an SKX.
It's an
Okay.
SKX. It's called the Bullet
It's a bullet.
because of those markers.
There you go. So Luis is part of the Seiko market, diba?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. So driving it back home, bringing it back home.
Yes.
Do we recommend this? Should I submit my voice for training an AI voice model? Not
Not.
for now, but stay hopeful for the future.
Yes.
Well, let's get rid of the whole doomsday thing and daming mga ano, but stay hopeful. It is
Hopeful.
also yeah, there are bad developments, but there are good developments. And what can you do in the meantime? While there's something outside your control, you
Mhm.
can work something within your control, which is to get training and to improve your craft.
Yes. Exactly that. Amen to that.
That's
I don't know
yeah.
what to add to that.
That's really it. And dito sa Voice Actors at Home PH, diba? For those of you who don't know yet, we do have this VAH PH Clubhouse community that we've opened up.
Yes.
And I should share my screen. We
Mhm.
only have 7 early bird
Oh,
slots
really?
left.
Wait.
So, paubos na yan soon. Like there was
Oh.
11 like a couple of days ago. But now
Sorry.
we are, yeah,
I'm gonna take us back just a little bit.
sure thing.
How do you protect yourself?
Yes, there are ways actually. Right now, while waiting for legislation,
Mhm.
there are ways. There are ways. And
And
that involves using something what we call contracts.
yes. And
Yes.
usually what they call a section in a contract is usually called a rider.
Yeah.
And this is the NAVA rider.
The NAVA rider. Yeah, the NAVA voice. So this is the National Association of Voice Actors, and there you go. That's the exact link. We're showing it there.
Hmm.
Um, that's the link. I'm a check the link out myself.
And
Huh?
share that screen. Can we share that screen?
Is it seen? Is it visible?
Not yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the Nava writer. If you go to the link that we show here, you should have the ability to Coach Luis, what
Yeah.
exactly does this do?
Basically, what it does is it legally obligates your client to not use your voice for AI to train an AI model. Um, so it says this is what clearly lays out. This is what you're allowed to use my voice for, and this is what you're not allowed to use my voice for. And
I love that. Just to
that's
have it in clear writing. And I love how you said legally obligated because technically they can eh.
yeah. There are
They still
always
can.
bad actors.
Yeah, bad actors. Bad
You know,
actors. Bad voice actors, yeah.
in more ways than one.
In more ways than one,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah,
So
at least legally obligated na sila,
yeah.
and this protects you on a legal level.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not gonna claim to be lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
or but I'm internationally lawyers have vetted this.
Yeah.
And they say it does provide a good framework for protection.
It's a
It
pretty
won't.
good framework, yeah. The worst that I've had was, I've had a contract sent my way. Tapos ang
Mm,
gagawin lang naman dito is idadagdag eh. Yeah,
yeah.
okay, I agree to this, but you also gotta agree to this other document, and they gotta sign that. And, once in a while, there might be a couple of things that they don't like. Sometimes they're just gonna grab a phrase or two.
Mhm.
Um, but if you can keep most of the language, which is already intact, that's the best possible scenario.
Yeah.
Because that would really protect you even more.
And
Yeah.
that's I guess that's sort of the weeds for me now. I understand the overall idea, but when it comes to specific words, I'm like, I would rather trust a lawyer if they're gonna
Yeah.
edit
Mas
certain things.
exact siya.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah. So that's
So
really it.
that's it. Have we taken it home?
I
Oh wait.
believe we've taken it home. And guys, if you want to learn more about how to become a voice actor at home, we
Yes.
do have a community. So we have the VAH PH Clubhouse community. This is a community where we have monthly coaching calls. We have 10 a year, and sometimes dumadame because we also have accountability calls. We just had one before this.
Yes.
uh,
I came in late.
yeah, but we had one. We had an accountability call, and we're having webinars. We're having, webinars on audio, business, tech, all these things. And yeah, just check it
We
out.
have
The link is in the description. And
coaching sessions almost every month.
almost every month, and bumabawi din tayo eh. Like the time, we try to do makeup sessions for those who weren't able to attend the other
Yeah.
ones. And sometimes the accountability calls turn into script
And
reads din naman. So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
the fact is, you're just always in contact with people who are in the field, who
Exactly.
want very similar things that you do. So that constant exposure, that continuous exposure to other people who are peers and coaches who you can learn from. That's amazing, I think.
Absolutely. Sabi nga nila, if you want to go fast, go
Go,
alone. If you want to
if you
go
want to go far,
far, go
go
together.
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. Oh my
And
God, that's.
feeling ko gutom na si Coach Luis. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's hammering. We have construction next door,
Yeah.
and they're starting already. So I
I
think it's
felt that.
about the time for us
About time.
to
All
go.
right, KapitVAHays. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Coach Luis, glad
Coach
chatting with
Dave,
you.
nice
All
chatting with you
right.
too.
See you around.
See
Take
you
care,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Woohoo. Bye.